Drill baby drill, says Trump. 99% of climate scientists believe that mankind is responsible for climate change. I'm joined by Erol Morkoc, a Republican strategist and spokesperson for Republican Overseas UK. Good morning, Erol.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Harrison Ford. How would Donald Trump respond to receiving a scolding from Harrison Ford?
He would say Harrison is a low IQ individual who, isn't up to the challenge. I don't know. Donald Trump probably wouldn't respond to Harrison Ford, but I'm here to do it. And I would say that Harrison Ford, for all of his climate doomerism and probably well-placed sentiment, should be a little bit more positive. And I would simply say it by the concept that the fuels that we're talking about are bridge fuels, the natural gas, the oil. These are bridge fuels to get us towards nuclear power, to get us towards kind of the next fifth generation of power sources. And to do that, you need stable world economies and you need stable energy sources while you build these sort of next generation tech, including solar, by the way. Solar is a huge job creator. The problem that the sort of, let's say, the climate people have is their approach to solar in the U.S. has been very poorly done. So their argument is going to be a little bit weak for the first 2 years, but solar is going to make a huge revolution in the U.S. So
but you're behind the curve, aren't you, over there? I mean, China's already up there. They're leading the world with solar, and you're still fussing around drilling for oil.
No, that's great. And we love that China's taking the lead on that. And it's awesome that we're able to sort of test a retail market with, 1 billion consumers. That's fantastic. Now, in California, where I am, solar is huge. In Florida, where there's plenty of energy, solar is huge. The idea, though, that we're going to run the world's largest economy just on solar, China's opening up nuclear power plants and coal power plants every week. You know this and I know this. So China's, able to go around and bolt on solar panels everywhere in a very authoritarian fashion. If we could do that, it would be much more efficient than what we've done in America, which is create this very, I mean, not that I want to get into it, but effectively you have these companies that are subcontracting the U.S. subsidies to the homeowners. So it's a very capitalistic system. Salesmen are making 30-40% on solar systems that are sold in America. And that's obviously, taking away from some of the value that the homeowners should accrue. I think that's the problem we're having.
Any thoughts at all about, Trump's drill baby drill and then Jamaica having the worst hurricane in its history? Do you think those things may be, related, that climate change, warming seas in the Caribbean contributed to Cat 5 storm hitting 185 miles an hour? Do you think they may be connected?
I think it's a really interesting concept to look at what does cause this. What does cause this is terrible policy that leads to war. So Europe, wonderful climate fighting area of the world, okay? Unfortunately, they went to war indirectly with Vladimir Putin.
I think you'll find, I don't want to correct you, I think you'll find, Errol, that Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. It wasn't something that we started, despite what your president said.
I said, but I'm saying that you ended up in a war with Russia. Regardless of the reasons, you end up dog-walked into a war with Russia. That war with Russia has eliminated all of the gains made by reducing the carbon emissions of Europe. Or we can take like California.
I have to say, Errol, we were relying on Donald Trump sticking to his promise, to end the war in Ukraine on day one. And where are we now? 7 months down, still waiting for your man to deliver his promise. No wonder we're going broke here. We're going to be shivering through the winter.
Of course, the war started, though, under President Biden. And in fact, Putin has invaded another country during this century under every president except Donald Trump. So while we're trying to bring the war to the end, the point that I'm making is about the environment. And the environment is hurt when bad policy leads to conflict. In California, we have bad policy regarding forest mismanagement. That leads to massive wildfires. The wildfires in Los Angeles just wiped out 10 years of aggregated savings by electric cars. So yes, if we're talking about climate change in the grand scheme of things and getting there to at least an energy future, we need to talk about bridge fuels and stability. Because bridge fuels, these natural gases,
Errol, we would have had stability if your man delivered on his promise to end the war on day one. But we wouldn't be having this conversation. Errol, this is on Trump. Errol Morkoc, thank you. He did promise to end the war on day one. I can play it to you if you want. You listen to Matthew